right, first deck of 2021. We have this user submitted deck, Fizz, Teemo, Elusives. So, as the name suggests, two champions in here, Fizz and Teemo. Teemo, not really a champion we're looking to level up in this archetype, just a solid one-drop aggressive champion, also elusive, hence the name, Elusives. This is essentially an aggro deck. At its core, is utilizing these champions. Fizz doesn't start with elusive, but whenever you cast a spell, it gets elusive. It also stops all enemy spells and skills targeting him, so you can kind of counter removal against him and be able to and generate a lot of tempo with plays, like burst cards like Iterative Improvement, pick a card, etc. to do that. Poro Cannons as well. Past that, we have the Daring Poros that get created from the cannon over here. We got Zap Sprayfin, Wiggly Burblefish, a new card from the latest expansion. 6 mana 3/1 with elusive, but its cost is reduced by 1 every time we cast a spell. It also creates a spell when it's created, so oftentimes I think it's... I haven't played with this deck yet, but I'd have to imagine that most of the time when we're placing this card, it's probably costing 3 at the most. When we're looking to play it. And the fact that it generates a little bit of value when it comes into play is nice, considering, this is a go hard format right now, and so an X1s kind of get destroyed by that, so it's nice to have a little bit of value when something like this comes down, because good chance it probably gets killed a lot of the times before it can connect, but that's the case for a lot of what we have going on, I suppose. So anyway, past that, and we got things like Suit Up, Rising Spell Force to pump up our elusive threats and deal more damage. Rising Spell Force is kind of nice in this deck because one of the things that could often happen against Demacia decks is that you get hit by Sharp Sight. So this is kind of nice because post Sharp Sight, you give your elusive threat +4 quick attack to kind of protect it if you think that's necessary, but otherwise it's just a way to push damage when we're looking to close games out. We have kind of reach removal as well to do the same thing. I mentioned before we have Iterative Improvement to copy our key threats and just apply more pressure on the board. Ballistic Bot just creates these ignitions that burn out the opponent, also buff our stuff. They can also be discarded to things like our Poro Cannon and Get Excited. We have Pick a Card here. Don't normally see this decks run actual copies of this. Most of the time you're just playing this as a Twisted Fate champion spell, but we're using it in this deck to stay gassed up, since we're a very low to the ground aggressive deck at our core. We are going to run out of gas sometimes. Pick a Card helps us continually apply pressure with our cheap units and cards, and if there's ever a case where we can't play all the fleeting cards, then hopefully we can use them on things like the Poro Cannon to get some value out of them before they leave. The other card worth noting, way at the top end here, Mind Meld. Set all allies' power and health to the number of spells you played this game until the end of the round, so this could be a great kind of way to close out games. You have a bunch of elusive threats on the field, pump them all up, hopefully swing in for lethal. One more card worth mentioning, I think, Used Cask Salesman. So this guy creates these 2 caustic casts when he enters play. They deal 1 damage to each enemy nexus when they die, and as you can see, they're not very useful outside of that, just 0 cost O1s. So at a minimum, this card is usually just burning our opponent for 2 while also putting a 3/2 body on the board. Not bad. But in a deck where we can use it to go wide and then potentially pump things up with our quick speed cards like Suit Up and Rising Spell Force on the caustic cast, because notably these things can attack. That's an option we can do sometimes with them. Obviously, it's great if we can play it into a big Mind Meld on the same turn when we're attacking. And past that, it's actually okay on defense for our deck as well, because we can use it to block threats while also burning our opponents out, getting them ever closer to that to getting their nexus down to 0. So one of the things that's worth noting in a deck like this, there's one of the archetypes that's similar to this that's been around for a little while is the Fizz Twisted Fate Elusives deck that's running Freljord cards, and one of the ways that deck is able to race other aggressive decks is it utilizes the Frostbite cards in it to kind of, yeah, to buy itself time until you have enough attacking turns to finish, to close games out. And similarly, we could use used cast salesman in that way if necessary. So yeah, this is one's kind of a new archetype to me. I haven't played with this. This is actually probably my first time playing with Fizz because, you know, I'm a free-to-play player, slowly building up my collection. Just had enough resources to craft this deck at the request of a viewer, so decide why not. Looks cool. Let's give it a spin. See how we do. Actually, let's see what this is first. See if we can roll a better quest than that. No, but hey, it's not bad. Alright, boogeyman of the format right off the get-go. See if we can run them down. Probably almost always keeping a Fizz on one. Don't think we need that in our opener. Probably not this. They don't play landmarks, so this is just kind of an expensive removal spell I don't think we need. Ballistic Bot on 2 sounds fine. Ballistic Bot, ignitions. Great for keeping Fizz elusive round to round. I guess we can play I guess we could play Teemo on 1. And if they decide that they want to go hard, I can just Poro Cannon.
A game. Go on then.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna pass. I think I want to save the Poro Cannon for the go hard. They're gonna draw a card off of this guy, but they have a lot of cards in hand that they can't necessarily play right away with that, so
humanity is obsolete.
There's plenty of killing left.
there's a good chance they just lose whatever card they drew. They happen not. I bet you it was this one. Iterative improvement. I think we'll start with the ignition to make Fizz elusive.
Rise, metal brethren.
You pay! I talk to spirits! These are my rules!
Just a briny thief.
And yeah, I think we'll just bank the spell mana here.
Can you improve perfection?
Okay. We'll see what they do here. This might be a... I might want to aftershock this just because they are going to start applying a lot of pressure. Okay, now I think I'm aftershocking that. Am I aftershocking it, or do I want to use Get Excited on this ignition? There's a good chance they find a go hard off of that draw, and I want to save Fizz with the Poro Cannon and discard this ignition, so I think I'm going to opt to use this more expensive spell instead. Then we'll look to play the Ballistic Pot after. They're likely to swing this turn. We'll play the Ballistic Pot afterward. And then we'll use the 2 ignitions the following turn to start
The dead don't need riches.
pumping out a lot of damage. I think I skipped this for now, because I don't want him go harding this.
Once I stamp papers, now faces.
Okay, not a go hard, but effectively the same thing. They could have a go hard to follow this up, of course. Hopefully not.
System upgrade. Safety disengaged. Join me if you want to live.
Gotta go with the flow.
So, I could get excited this, discarding the ignition to be able to attack with these threats and get in for a lot of damage. Fizz is getting to the point where I kind of want to protect him though, so I might do that in response to a go hard.
Improve perfection. Rise, metal brethren.
And if he doesn't go hard, then I think we'll just swing with everything. Is that wrong? We got to get through their board eventually because Pack Your Bags notably is a quick or is a one-sided spell, so I really want to play the Burble Fish. Yeah, I think we do this. Fizz is only one spell from leveling though. I think I'm supposed to save up resources to
This is outrage!
for fear of stuff like this. I wanted to do this now because depending on what it created, you know, would give us an opportunity to just have something to protect Fizz. I guess we'll improve this. They have played 2 go hards at this point.
There's nothing to fear.
I think I kind of want to do that to Fizz. What is his champion spell? Remove an attacking ally in combat to rally? That might actually be kind of good. Oh, it has to be in hand, right. Pick a card in hand. I can't pick Fizz. So I think we save this then. I don't really want extra copies of any of these necessarily.
Give us some room.
I'm just gonna take this hit.
Hush now.
You started without me.
So we actually have them dead, assuming they don't have any... any ways to gain life. They probably do, however. Their deck, newer versions of this deck, I guess, are running the 5-mana sweeper that heals 3. Which means playing these out is not great. So these don't advance our game plan. So I probably just want to attack. Maybe we're fine actually putting a bunch of those in our hand. Just to burn them out at this point. Yep. So okay. I'm actually going to deny their draw here. They're obviously desperately looking for go hards. We'll just stop that. I think it's important. I think we'll go ahead and do this. This might be aggressive playing this out now. Probably gonna get excited her then, because I don't want them leveling her and getting a bunch of stuff. That's kind of why I chose him as the target for Longtooth as well, because I figured we might be hitting Elise this turn.
Time to get rich.
Five. He probably blocks there, so he actually only deals 2. 6, 8. That's not enough. This guy's getting blocked anyway. Guess we'll just pass and see what our opponent does. Ugh, that's a zap. That's very tempting, but probably gonna end up getting ruinated. So I don't like that.
This is gonna be fun.
You poor thing.
Okay, good chance. There goes a ruination. Their decks tend to only run
Keep up,
one.
keep up.
I'm gonna pass.
I don't change fate, but I can see it.
I'm always up for a round or two.
That's a bit risky on our opponent's part. So what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna hit the Zap, I think, and then we're gonna play out the used cast salesman. Man, I really want to use that for reach, but I have a feeling we just need to kill that. Is that too aggressive? Because there's a good chance he finds a go hard if he doesn't have one already. And then used cast salesman plus what we have doesn't burn him out. But I think we need to stop him from drawing here.
Dead in their tracks.
Oh, that doesn't... Oh, because that's not targeting, technically. Gotcha.
Let's make a deal.
We'll play this out for blockers, essentially, because we don't want to get... If he does pack our bags this turn, we don't want to die to that. Now we're going to have to do this, probably. Iterative Improvement's a nice hit off of that, actually.
All or nothing. You break it, you buy it.
Why are you here?
We're still dead, unfortunately. To thingy. Oh yeah, I guess we would be anyway because we have to block with a cast to make hit both players.
Another day in the field.
You can hear my cat in the background. Sorry for that. I might have to take a small break and deal with that. Opponent deciding what to do. Interesting. So, Iterative Improvement this. It costs 4, we get 1 back. We play this. Depending on what they have, that could be enough.
Keep up, keep up.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
Wow, I was actually surprised we won that one, to be honest. This seems like a very, very bad matchup for us. We obviously have the tools to win it, like as you saw there, but it seems like an exceedingly bad matchup. And to be fair, our opponent, you know, didn't draw into as many go-hards as, you know, you'd expect them. Part of the reason being we denied a lot of their card draw, which I do think is a very important part of winning that match. Alright, my cat, yes. I think I like the rest of these. Popping things, killing Fioras, I think is important. This kills a Fiora. Maybe Mystic Shot alone's not good enough. Kind of in the all-in Fiora plan. We don't care about the rest of their stuff. We just have to make sure Fiora's not controlling our board. Maybe this is fine.
2, 3, 4. Swiftly. It's enough for everyone.
That's a Fizz.
I'm Fizz! I'll scout ahead.
Ballistic Bot's a nice pickup. Alright. Opponent was really all in on that Fiora and they decided, hey, no Fiora, no go. We're out of here. I'm not sure what kind of hand they kept. Seems like a pretty early concession to me, but you know, we don't know what was in their hand. We don't know the game doesn't really indicate whether or not a player has mulliganed, so who knows? They could have mulliganed into a really bad hand, and there are a couple draws off the top. It just wasn't cutting it. They decided that was that. I think one of the key cards they would have had to help control the board in that matchup would have been Single Combat, which Fizz is, which is notably a bad card against Fizz because it is a targeted spell. Turbo Sedge. Okay. We're on the attack, turn 1. I don't think we want you. You're a little bit expensive. I think I like the other two, though. What did I tell you, used cast salesman? Get out of here. I'm not interested in your wares. Not yet, anyway.
Prepared for anything.
They could have Prowling Cutthroat here, I suppose, to block this.
Nothing like the stink of blood and
Lucky
sweat.
us.
Price doesn't mean everything.
I think their archetype's still on things like
Let's get to it.
I'm actually just gonna, you know what, I will block this. Takes away a plunder from them too, which is nice. Ballistic Bot. What do we think about used cast salesman here? Nah, I think I want Ballistic Bot starting to generate. Well, we don't need that right away.
I'll scout ahead.
Yeah, no, let's just swing.
More mushrooms.
Frog if you work, burn if you don't.
Humanity is obsolete. Primed and ready.
If they don't open on attacks here, this used cast salesman might be nice to fog their turn, so to speak. I could play these two.
Just pretend I'm naughty, eh?
Just pretend I'm naughty, right?
First one's free.
I think I actually, like, we're not getting through with Teemo anytime soon, and we have a bunch of elusives we'd like to use. So I think just this dying so that Fizz can start getting in might be valuable this game.
Candle Scout never. I'm Fizz.
Can you improve perfection? Rise, metal brethren.
No refund.
Primed and ready.
Backup Fizz is kind of nice. Do I want pick a card? I feel like if he's targeting Fizz, we're fine with that, actually.
Can't say no to Fizz.
And now we have that.
Safety will cost you.
Safety disengaged. A ticket to the gun show.
Tide's coming in.
Bow to no one.
Deal.
say no to Fizz.
Born for conquest. Boom.
Down to 4.
Maybe you need a closer look.
Don't think that's what we want to do.
Oh boy, here I go!
Two whole rising spell force. We probably can't stop them from killing us next round. So I think we gotta go for the kill here with these spell forces. So I think I play the Poro. Okay, opponent's done.
I was gonna say we could play the Poro because that's 2, 4, 6, 7 damage right there, and then if they have responses,
We can Rising Spell Force twice to hopefully punch through as needed. But it looks like our opponent didn't have any interaction, so they knew all we needed was the one Poro and they were dead. So I was expecting, you know, they could have had things like Make It Rain in hand. They could have had Frostbite effects in hand, but evidently they did not. This is an interesting matchup. So we do have 2 Aftershock in the deck, which is good against their Misfortunes and their Plazas. So I think we keep both of those. These we don't want, and obviously Suit Up's a card we'd rather draw, so I think we throw all of these back. That's not bad. Would have liked to see one of our champions in hand, since it's the best thing we can be doing on one. Pretty much always want to play one of those 2 on one. Opponents opting to play out 2-1 Challenger unit. Good choice. Get aggressive. It can always get challenged later. They see what champions we're running. They know they don't need this to necessarily get buffed by a Plaza. Also, they don't always necessarily have Plaza on 3, right? So no reason not to curve out, start applying pressure.
Witness perfection.
Looking for, you know, a 3 of in your deck. Not usually wise. Probably not swinging into this. It depends on what they do. Because their deck can sometimes run Sharp Sight, so I don't really want to just die to that. Yeah, and I mean with that, there's no reason to attack at all.
Can you improve perfection?
Ooh, let's see. I think, well, we'll see what our opponent does. I think we definitely want to Aftershock here. We could do it on our next turn. Do we want to do it on our next turn instead? Because if it's the first thing we do on our next turn, they won't get the benefit from it, which I think is fine. And this turn, I would kind of like to play out Ballistic Bot Ignition.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
My steel is yours.
System upgrade. Rise, metal brethren. Safety disengaged.
Let's see. We could attack first, I suppose. See what they're up to. play it safe and start here.
System upgrade. Fire till nothing moves.
I'm just gonna end the round.
Can you improve perfection?
Honor guide me.
Well, they obviously have a trick in hand. So what are we worried about? Sharp sight is something. If they sharp sight this, it still dies. We could always iterative improvement it as well. They could sharp sight this and it lives. So let's go with this and see what they do. Ranger's resolve the sharp sight. Sure. Do I want an iterative improvement right now? I don't. Well, I could do that, play one out, then play one of the ignitions, get that going. That might be fine. Alternatively, we could. Well, actually, yeah, and then the burble fish is. No, it's not quite free, actually. I could make it free. Whether it's free this turn or next turn, I don't think it matters. So.
Witness perfection. Meat bags. System upgrade. Hey, ticket to the gun show. Prime and ready.
Pretty sure I'm playing at least one ignition this turn.
Upgrade.
So let's start with this and see what they do.
They're just ending the round, huh? I don't believe you.
Fortune favors the bold. Keep up, keep up.
Prime and ready.
Think I'm okay playing Teemo. They're probably, if they have another sharp sight, they're probably using it on one of these two.
Can you improve perfection? Fire till nothing moves.
And because of that, maybe I'm supposed to hold back because iterative improvement's a thing. I'm attacking with this one because I don't want them to single combat with this into this to stop me from killing. Because otherwise, I'd be tempted to attack with this and then trade these off. But I think I want to do this to ensure. Sure, as long as it dies, I don't care. So that's interesting that they opted to trade those off instead of using the sharp sight to kill one of my threats. I guess they figure they have all these challengers they could just do that with.
Safety disengaged.
We're gonna definitely... We're almost certainly hitting this with iterative improvement. I can't quite do everything I'd like to do next round, though, if that's okay. Because I would like to pick a card this round, too. Used Cast Salesman's nice, because they're looking to push some damage this round.
First one's free.
Show them what we're made of.
That is a Cythera. Pass. See what they do first.
My deal is yours.
I feel like they want to hook everything anyway. So what do we like here? They're going down to 7-6. This is a lot of damage. I think we just go ahead and improve this gentleman here. Take the 7 and look to kill them on our next turn.
Prepared for anything.
All right, let's mess
Okay,
some
they're dead.
folks up.
Armed and ready. Catch. Never underestimate the power of the Scout's Code.
Shut up, Teemo. Ephemerals, okay. This should be an interesting matchup because they can't block our stuff and we can't block their stuff, so it's a question of, do they go faster than we do? I think they might. We'll see. I'm gonna Teemo on one here. Okay, that could be good for fogging, you know, one of their attacks later down the line. Already a lot of damage right out of the gate.
Armed and ready.
Guess we'll go ahead and do this.
More
first. I don't think Ballistic Bot's getting in for another damage.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
Okay, maybe that was wrong.
Prime and ready.
Iterative improvement. Probably saving that for the burble fishes. So far, that seems the best target for these.
Won't find better this side of the sun.
Well, so our opponent just has the nuts. Got it. I still think we block here because then we can get in for.
So ordinary.
Why are we taking 2? Right, because the casts are blowing up. So
No refund.
Safety disengaged.
yeah, our hand has not shaped up very well so far, unfortunately.
Dirty and sneaky. I like it.
I will not be alone. Walk with us, shepherd.
I'll scout ahead. That's for everyone.
Now this thing can block Kalista, so even if he opens on attacks here, we can. Well, that's nice to see.
I am the blade in the darkness.
I'm only gonna get 1 cask off this, but I think that's enough.
Let's make a deal.
They won't suffer long. Shadows cut deep as any weapon.
Maybe you need a closer look.
They could be. What are the chances that they're running Atrocity? Am I playing around Atrocity? I don't think so, right? I want this for next turn because it deals 1, makes these cheaper. Actually gives us a chance to get in for lethal amounts. This is 1, they go down to 4. Next turn it's 3, maybe Zap finds us something. I'm just supposed to make myself dead to Atrocity. I think that's
Safety disengaged.
Oh, that's why we're taking so much damage, right? Because this thing, Kalista takes the damage for it, doesn't just die. That makes sense.
System upgrade. Prime and ready. Another day in paradise.
Okay, can we win here? We can play both of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could... Yeah, and I can't play any more than that. I can improve you.
And sneaky. I like it. Armed and ready. Hold this. Victory was the mushrooms we planted along the way.
Pretty good set so far. The deck really showing off its power level here. I actually really surprised at how well that Burblefish works, especially with iterative improvement. If you can get it down low enough, getting a bunch of free 4/2 Elusives. It's really nice. Speaking of which, still, I think we full mulligan looking for 1-drop since we are on attack, but I'm pretty sure we want a Ballistic Bot on 2 pretty much always in this matchup. Okay. We'll see if Fizz can get in for 2. If not, am I making him elusive with Poro Cannon?
Explosives primed.
I don't think so. I think we might want to save this. Then again, Aftershock's pretty expensive. Wouldn't mind playing out blockers.
Come on. What a trick.
In position. Behind ya.
Witness perfection, meatbags.
Ye started without me.
Can you improve perfection? Safety disengaged.
For the Empire. The few are the many.
That's too bad. I could have get excited that,
System upgrade.
potentially.
There's plenty of killing left.
There's plenty of killing left. I believe you.
Prime and ready. Can you improve perfection?
It's gonna be a tough one for sure. They've had a pretty good start.
System upgrade.
Time to get rich.
So ordinary.
This is how we're supposed to block.
Disengaged.
Could use a burble fish right about now.
Prime and ready. Fire till nothing moves.
Gotta go with the flow.
That's unfortunate.
Can you improve perfection?
I never miss.
Ain't no small powder.
You can't do this. Nice!
Prime and ready.
No prey, no pay.
That's gonna do it. We can't block any of their things. We're taking what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably just gonna get burned out then the following turn. I mean, we can take a draw step and see what we find, but at this point, I don't think we can kill them from 10. They're a little too high.
Fresh out of mercy.
Inferior design.
Like, do we just take, you know, this much? see where we end up? I guess we can block here because this isn't getting. Yeah, this isn't even getting through. I'm pretty sure we're without a hope here.
Reporting in.
Can you improve perfection?
Yeah, if he didn't have a blocker, it would be different.
Prime and ready. Join me if you want to live.
When we're done, I'm taking your head.
Don't make promises you can't keep, little girl.
Yeah.
If he somehow tried to do something in response and not block, we might have been able to win there. Like if they tried to do, I don't know, Noxian Fervor into like more burn like later or something, because we were at 5, right? So the decimate was exactly necessary, and we could have obviously buffed our unit before clicking OK, but then they would have just thrown the Zap Spray Fin in front of it. That's I think one of the big reasons why it would have been so important for us to have actually gotten to connect with him that turn that we got the Fizz leveled up. Okay, let's see if they have Zoe on one. Zoe on one's gonna be annoying, so if that's their turn 1 play, I'm definitely just gonna throw Fizz into her, I think. It's too bad we have this in hand. Backup Fizz is kinda nice, I suppose.
Protects me. Devotion through battle.
Wanna see a trick?
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Sun this, moon that. Adults are boring. Cool.
I'm doing this because we have a backup Fizz and ways to protect him, to protect this current one.
Oh, man. Hey, Zap. Need a hand?
Can't say no to Fizz.
Okay, iterative improvement then gives elusive to our Fizz for the next round, which is nice.
We chart our path by the stars.
They'll take 6. This is a 7th. They could do the 4-1 thing, which would be bad. They could also have found the sisters, which would be bad. I suppose we have a Get Excited in hand for that, though. 5, 6, 7. How important is Teemo to get down this turn? Because I actually might want to do this. This round. Nah, that's probably not true.
You're boring.
Geez, sorry, Fizz. I'm just trying to make sure that I do this right.
This is gonna be fun.
We can actually do this.
Back, heretic.
Well, that's annoying. I wasn't considering Hush. Am I doing this now? That's really bad in the face of a single combat, but I'm gonna try anyway. Okay, I assume they don't have single combat or they would have used it in response. Yikes.
No!
Okay. These two...
We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment. First one's free.
What once was two, now is one.
Siblings once were inseparable.
It's kind of awkward. You don't want them gaining life, and we don't want an elusive blocker either. So that's kind of rough. Oh, hello. They're not attacking with the lifesteal one? Okay. In that case... Which are we getting rid of here? Probably iterative improvement.
We were two.
No refunds.
Like a fish in water.
The dawn has arrived. With its light, the Solari will unite. Behold the divine power of the sun!
Okay, hoping to dodge single combat here then.
The sun's splendor revealed.
Another day in the field.
We're still one short from killing them though, unfortunately.
I'll scout ahead.
Unless they draw a puff cap off the top of their deck.
More
So they go up to 13. Well, we can hit this, I suppose. 79. Yeah, that's true.
Feel the sun's glory.
Can't spoil the surprise?
This actually deals 4 damage in a way rather than 3 because we're not gaining the life. So they're actually dead to open attacks from us next turn if they don't have a way to interact, and they haven't so far, so we're hoping that that's going to continue being the case. They have shown us a ton of... they have shown us star shaping, though, so... They could play another star shaping, they could play another guiding touch.
Not for everyone.
So we've lost this game here, but we lost it not because we drew poorly or our opponent got lucky. We lost it because I wasn't playing around Hush earlier in the set.
Every time.
If I was thinking about Hush, instead of trying to aggressively push damage on that turn when I had Rising Spell Force, I could have used that in response to the Hush to save my Fizz, kill their threat, and potentially win that game. It may have not mattered, but you never know. Definitely didn't do myself any favors. I think I like to get excited for the Kalista / Elise. First time we're seeing Mind Meld in this set, and unfortunately it's in our opening hand, which is definitely not where we want it to be. This hand's probably too slow for this matchup. Yikes. No plays on the first 3 draws feels really bad. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep this get excited. Maybe that was like too reactive. I don't know. Feels bad, man. I feel like this Mind Meld is getting discarded by this get excited. We're just probably not going to have time to play it. And even if we do, it's probably not going to be relevant.
Come closer. I don't bite.
I guess this sucks because this becomes a 3-3, but we're taking the same amount of damage anyway, and they're getting a spider, so I think this is what we're doing.
Crack their bones, see what's inside.
Yikes. These are some very, very awkward draws. Okay, finally something. Don't want to play this quite yet, I don't think.
Once I stab papers, now faces.
There can be no justice, only revenge.
Doesn't feel great to do that, but I think that's our plan. Could see them play the Evershade Stalker here since it's free, and then it dies, which lets them level up Callista. Kind of would hope that they're not going to be able to do that before combat, because we could use this second Rising Spell Force plus plus, you know, block from this Ballistic Bot to kill her while she still doesn't have, you know, that Protector kind of in hand. But we'll see if that's going, if our opponent will allow that. Alright, what are we up to, opponent? Let's go.
Every betrayal sharpens our resolve.
We might actually do that and throw away the Zap in this case. Ooh, now we have a Get Excited, so we don't have to do that. Are we throwing away Zap anyway for fear that they have a way to protect this? I don't think so. I think we're getting rid of one of these. I guess we'll improve that. I think we'll just bank the spell mana.
Gotta go with the flow.
It's unfortunate that they are a Vile Feast deck. What are you up to here?
Let me at 'em.
They're a go hard deck as well. Okay then. Oh shoot, I didn't want to pass there. Well, if they have another one of those, we're gonna have to use this iterative improvement to save. Fizz, I really wanted to use that on the Burble Fish. Yeah, that was a mistake. Sure. Deal 2 to an ally to grant 2 enemies vulnerable. No. Don't think we'll be doing that. Don't want to do any of these other things. I don't know that we can beat a Ruination if they're running those in the deck. They're obviously on Go Hard, which is not ideal, and they have plenty of Go Hard targets as is, so I think ultimately we're playing... everything out here. Well, that's kind of funny. They're actually off Ruination mana, which is very, very good. And we have this pick a card to protect Fizz this round while also gassing up, which is nice. In fact, yeah, am I playing it out? we'll see. I guess we'll have to see what they do first. Okay. Doom Beast is their best draw here. Hoping to dodge that. If they have it in their deck, I'm sure that's what they're looking for. Because like they can actually double Doom Beast here, which puts on a lot of pressure while also okay, well now we know that they have a Bark Beast. Probably just pick a card in hand then. I don't think they're just passing, but I'm doing that just in case. I don't think there's a reason not to at this point. How much damage we're taking? We're going down to 1. The thing's going up to a 3. We're okay to block here. They have no shortage of things that they can deal 1 to. So I think we can actually block most of their stuff. Go down to 4. We're dead to Atrocity in that case.
You're bored.
I think this is fine. We can even create a 1-cost follower in hand because of this. May as well. That's funny. That at least trades with this. That's kind of funny. So we have 14 damage here. Plus we're drawing 4. Okay. So... even if they block Fizz, do we kill them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. So I think it's actually worth opening on attack, seeing what they do, and then suiting up something that that they might target. Alright. We got there. Alright, I think we'll end the set there. Couldn't quite get to platinum with this deck, but it seems pretty solid anyway. Yeah, fun stuff. Not much to say about it other than that I was pleasantly surprised by this. It felt really good, felt really cohesive. Not sure what changes I would make, if any. All the cards felt kind of necessary and, you know, useful in their own ways in this. I guess we never really got to see Mind Meld do its thing. So, and it is a 1-of in the deck, so obviously it's going to take a lot of games to see if whether or not this 1-of is actually worth keeping around. If not, you know, could be we want, you know, another Aftershock or another Mystic Shot for various reasons, right? Like this takes out the landmarks. Landmarks are very popular in this format. It's also, you know, deal 3 to face, which is valuable. Mystic Shot similarly take out key threats, key like blockers on the other side of the table. Zap Sprayfin is pretty popular, so to clear the way for our Elusives or deal damage to their Nexus as necessary seems nice, but obviously Mind Meld potentially very powerful in this deck. So would have to, you know, play more games definitely to see to probably see that shine. But yeah, fun stuff. End it there though, and we'll move on to the next deck.